Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
Good morning, I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Here's the latest from Denver 7. This morning, State Patrol is still looking for the driver who hit two kids in a Centennial neighborhood.
Denver 7's Micah Smith explains the father of one of those boys just wants the driver to come forward.
We talked to 11-year-old Joshua Piazza's father, who says his son spent 2 days in the hospital where he was treated for a skull fracture. Joshua's father tells us that doctors say his son was lucky because his injuries could have been much worse. Joshua and a friend were walking on East Fair Place just west of Fundy Way around 4 p.m. on Friday. They were headed to the park. Witnesses say a blue SUV with a green bumper sticker came down the street, drove onto the curb and into a yard. The driver then hit Josh and his friend. Joshua's friend was not seriously injured and did not have to go to the hospital, but Joshua was taken to the hospital. He was just released yesterday. Joshua's father says this accident was especially upsetting because his son was doing the right thing.
Did what 11-year-old kids are supposed to do. He stayed on the sidewalk, didn't cross any of the streets, went to the park.
Colorado State Patrol did not release much of a description of the driver, but say he's around 25 years old and was driving, again, a bluish SUV with a green bumper sticker. CSP says if you have any information on this hit and run, give them a call. Reporting in Centennial, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
Today, we expect an update from Arvada police on the people arrested for assaulting an officer over the weekend. Police are describing it as a chemical attack. They say an officer was clearing debris from the road Saturday when a man threw some kind of device setting off a cloud of gas. The officer and an innocent passerby were both injured. Police say they have made multiple arrests in the case, but they haven't said much more. They're still working to figure out what the device was.
Well, from his very first day in office, Governor Jared Polis has promised to make full-day kindergarten free for parents in Colorado. Today, State House Democratic leaders will give an update on the legislation currently working through the House. Lawmakers have set aside $185 million to pay for full-day kindergarten. It would go into effect next fall. That funding still has to be approved by state lawmakers. Tomorrow, a bill for the funding will be heard in the House Education Committee. As U.S. Senator Michael Bennet prepares to undergo surgery for prostate cancer, he remains optimistic about running for president in 2020. Speaking to CNN, the Colorado senator said everything is good for a run as long as his surgery goes well.
I'm looking forward to running in 2020. This obviously was unexpected, but we caught it early. It's something that I think we're going to be able to treat, and I don't think it should keep me off the trail.
Bennet will have an operation over the congressional recess this month. He's also using his diagnosis to spread awareness. He says he didn't have any symptoms and hopes everyone will get screened.
A reminder, 1 week from today, ballots will start to go out to Denver residents for the city's May election. Drop boxes open next Monday. Vote centers open in 3 weeks. And remember, Election Day is May 7th.
With the controversial oil and gas bill waiting to be signed by Governor Jared Polis, questions remain about the rules currently in place. The Denver Post reports our state's Department of Health allows oil and gas companies to begin drilling and fracking without obtaining federally required permits. Companies are allowed to drill without a permit for 90 days. Officials say this lets companies determine how much a site is likely to pollute, so regulators can take that into account when issuing air pollution permits.
Our warm weather over the weekend was a reminder summer is right around the corner, but also fire season. So right now in southeastern Colorado, Los Animas fire crews are still working to put out the so-called Black Ridge fire. So far, it's burned nearly 1,600 acres. At last check, it was 80% contained. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs crews quickly got a fire under control that came very close to homes. It was only 3 acres, but it was enough for several people to evacuate.
Lakewood city councilors could move forward with putting a citywide growth cap in place. The council tabled the proposal earlier this year because of an appeal from developers. The proposal would cap citywide growth by 1% a year. Lakewood has grown 8% since 2010, bringing more traffic congestion and rising rent prices. The union representing teachers in the Adams 14 school district is urging the state to approve the district's takeover by the Mapleton School District. They want the district to make a decision before their school board meeting tomorrow. Just last month, the State Board of Education encouraged the district to continue to work with Mapleton schools before any takeover is finalized. The state is concerned about Mapleton's track record with student achievement and says it won't discuss the situation until their May meeting. This takeover comes after years of low performance within Adams 14. Well, ski season is starting to wrap up here in Colorado.
Yeah, several resorts closed for the season yesterday. Several more expected to do so this weekend.
Silverton, Steamboat, Beaver Creek, Eldora, and Echo Mountain all close next Sunday. Purgatory, Monarch, and Wolf Creek all have scaled back hours.
But despite the warm up now, we do have more snow in the forecast later this week. Here's Lisa.
Yeah, there are a few spots across the state that could get some really heavy snow, but for right now we're focusing on the 70s. It's going to be another beautiful day. We've got a mostly sunny sky this morning, and we're looking at temperatures early on in the 40s, even 50s. This afternoon, we should be well into the 70s, right around 70 to about 75 here along the Front Range. It's a nice warm afternoon. Look at all the 50s in the mountains. Now, the winds will pick up a bit, so it's going to be breezy today. Those winds, though, again, ushering in some warm weather. Although, unfortunately, it also means fire danger is going to be higher. Breezy, warm, dry conditions both today and again tomorrow. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're likely again upper 40s and low 50s. And then it's even warmer tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is the warmest day on our 7-day forecast. We've got a gusty southwesterly wind, especially over the western half of our state. And our highs are going to be right around 77 to about 80 degrees. That'll be flirting with the record high of 81. Overnight, though, into early Wednesday morning, that's when the change arrives, and we're expecting rain showers developing Wednesday morning. That's going to switch over to snow as soon as that cold front rolls through. So we've got the potential for some slushy conditions late Wednesday into early Thursday, and a few areas, depending on the movement of the storm, could get some heavy snow, and it looks like also some blizzard-like conditions. So stay with Denver 7. We'll keep a close eye on this next system. It's April, you guys. This happens. Our roller coaster of a 7-day forecast, about a 30 to 40 degree drop in temperatures this week.
We know it's coming. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Chances are you or someone you know uses melatonin as a sleep aid at night, but Consumer Reports warns you don't want to rely on it as a long-term aid. Experts say there is not enough research to know whether melatonin is good for you in the long run. If you do take it, Consumer Reports says never take more than 10 milligrams. A typical dose of melatonin is about 3 milligrams.
A Contact 7 consumer alert this morning to be on the lookout for fake tickets. We're already hearing about scams just 3 days into the Rockies season.
A Boulder County couple says someone sold them fake tickets on Craigslist. They say they met the seller. They took a close look at the tickets, but when they got to Coors Field, the tickets wouldn't scan for them to enter, and the seller didn't even hide his intentions.
And then he had the nerve to say he sold 40 tickets and made $5,000 off of Coloradoans for opening day. And so then that made me even more mad.
Yeah, he's bragging about it, which was just unbelievable. Coors Field is moving toward getting rid of physical tickets altogether and making a push to go mobile.
Yeah, the Rockies say that helps with fraudulent tickets and also helps everyone get into the stadium faster.
This year, millennials are expected to take over baby boomers as the largest U.S. population group, and a new study finds Colorado is a good fit for many millennials. A Wallet Hub study finds Colorado is the 6th best state in the country for millennials. The study looked at affordability, quality of life, voter turnout, and then some very millennial-centric things like the average price of a Starbucks latte. Colorado ranked the highest in quality of life, economic health, and civic engagement. Massachusetts topped the list. Today begins a big week in our Colorado. The Craft Brewers Conference and Brew Expo comes to Denver. It runs until Thursday at the Colorado Convention Center.
But beer isn't the only thing being celebrated in our Colorado. Denver 7 reporter Eric Lufer shows us how one distillery in Longmont is celebrating the people, places, and land of our great state.
Dryland Distillers opened just about a year ago, last June. It's in the heart of downtown Longmont on Main Street, and the founders take pride in their Colorado ingredients, which is what makes this place so unique. Their Antero wheat whiskey was just introduced to customers last month. Antero wheat is developed specifically between Colorado State University and local growers in Colorado to design a wheat that is ideal for the Colorado climate. Another one of their whiskeys is made of an heirloom grain, which is more than 2,500 years old, which has a completely different protein and sugar structure than most modern grains.
There are lots of shortcuts and lots of easy ways out in distilling, and clearly we're not doing any of them. We are doing a lot of things the hard way, but we think that the outcome is well worth it.
And check this out, another Colorado exclusive. Dryland Distillers sources ingredients from Colorado's prickly pear cactus. This is video of the early stages of prepping those ingredients. So we don't only want to talk about the struggles we face in our growing Colorado, but also how the people that make up this great state celebrate it. I think this is a fine example. I'm Eric Lou for Denver 7.
And this has been your Denver 7 on-demand update. Thanks for joining us.
Check back here later for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Have a great day.